Are there any other political content creators or prolific tweeters or anything else you guys think do a good job at getting things right? Besides me, of course.
Uh, like, I don't know. Like, I mean,
Are there people that you watch consume their content regularly on YouTube or Twitter?
I don't really watch too much content for, political stuff. Like, I don't even, I barely even watch the mainstream media. Like, I don't really watch.
I think that Chris Cuomo, I think I like his takes because I feel he doesn't care anymore. Like he's not stuck on CNN. He can say what he wants, and he's with News Nation now, and he not everything he says is things that people on CNN will agree with. And he even said something about he might vote for Trump or something like that, which I disagree with. I think that's stupid. But I don't think I respect the fact that he is his own self and he's not catering towards what he thinks is going to make him more money. And I think he's somebody that you should follow, at least listen to.
Speaking of CNN gone independent, did you watch the Don Lemon Musk thing? What were your feelings on that in general?
So I get the outrage that, okay, Don Lemon's partnership was canceled. Like, I don't think that should, like, if he had an agreement, that interview definitely didn't warrant it getting canceled. I do think he was a little too hard on some questions of Elon, like about his drug use, about his mental state. I think he pushed too hard on that, and I can see why Elon would be upset about that. But I honestly didn't. I feel like it was actually a decent interview. I didn't walk away from the interview saying Elon Musk is an evil person. I don't think too many people did. I don't think it made Elon look bad. I think the fact that the partnership was canceled was a bad move on behalf of Elon and X.
Yeah. I feel like so the way that I looked at that interview when we were about 20 minutes in, have you ever seen Piers Morgan interview people?
Yeah.
It felt to me like there's a certain style of interview where I've got a bunch of things about you that I really want to grill you on, where I think you're completely wrong, and I'm going to hammer these home until I've either made my point or you have like sufficiently extremely refuted it, and you're not going to dance. I'm going to repeat the same thing over and over again. And about 20 minutes into the Don Lemon interview, I felt like, okay, this is the style of interview here. It's not going to be like a friendly back and forth. Don Lemon has ammunition, and he's trying to land some shots. A lot of people don't like that style of interview, which I think is fair because it comes off as hostile. I was thinking about it during the interview, and you are right that like, he's like mining on some of the drug use stuff on like, are you mentally ill and stuff like that. And it felt like pretty personal. And I was like, damn. But I will say, and I think maybe Don Lemon going into the interview, maybe he could have established this better, or maybe it's just in my online brain, I'm expecting there to see like, or to be like an accompanying post or an explanation beforehand. Even though it feels bad, people went into that interview looking at Elon Musk as like an ordinary citizen. Like this is a guy that just has like a business and he's being interviewed by Don Lemon, and man, he's getting super bullied. But he's not an ordinary person. And through Elon Musk's own decisions, he has placed himself as one of the heads of one of the most important, according to Elon Musk, the most important when it comes to media proliferation, social media companies in the United States, arguably in the world. And I think when you look at it through that perspective, and maybe Don could have done a better job at emphasizing this, I think I kind of do want to know if the guy who is dictating who can say what or who gets banned or unbanned on a platform that's now being accused of hosting like a ton of anti-Semitic stuff and fight videos, is this guy crazy? Is he like on a drug binge? Does he have like a bunch of mental illness stuff? Is there other people making or helping him make decisions on things? I think those are like really newsworthy, important questions to ask. But I agree, because of the perception of Elon Musk kind of being this autistic tech guy who's like quiet and cute or whatever, Don Lemon ends up just coming off as a huge bully.
Yeah, like I think the questioning was fair. Like I think, are you using ketamine recreationally? That's fair. Like, I think people should know that. But I think once he said, I have a prescription for it, I don't think it was right of Don to kind of push and say, how many pills are you taking? How much are you taking per day? What's your dose? Like, I feel like that took things too far. I can see both sides of it. I don't, like I said, I don't think it warranted a partnership getting canceled. I think it makes Elon look like he's a hypocrite in some respect, in that, he took over Twitter and said, okay, I'm going to give freedom of speech. I'm not going to be biased. It was horrible that Twitter had this many liberals working for them who donated this many liberal politicians. I'm going to come along and it's going to be a neutral neutral ownership, not politically in any direction. And then he comes and says, I don't want this left-wing media personality to have a partnership with X anymore because I don't like his questioning. Like, it's hard to really see what was so bad with that interview that partnership should have been canceled. I don't, but at the same time, I also think Don pushed a little too hard on certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you have Tucker Carlson on X, right? He was like the first big name to start doing videos on X, and obviously on the right, and obviously he talks about some things and says some things that a lot of people disagree with. So I think that Tucker interviewed Musk in the very beginning, and obviously that's going to be more biased towards Musk, right? He's not going to say anything bad. So you get Lemon on the other side. Just let it happen. Like let both sides grill the guy. I feel. I don't think Tucker grilled him. I think it was more of just like a softball question interview, like a lot of his interviews are.
Yeah.
I respect Musk. I think he's a brilliant guy, but I think some of his political takes and some of the things he does is not really something you think a genius like him would be doing.
It feels like the thing we were talking about earlier, where if you get bullied too much by one side, you end up pigeonholing yourself into the other, and then that cycle just like perpetuates.
Exactly, and I think I think the same exact thing's happening with him in the media too, right? So like the media is attacking him, then he's attacking the media back, and you just have this spiraling out of control, like Trump. Same thing with Trump. I think it's like basically a replay of what happened with Trump.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And then I feel like I told this to somebody who's connected to the White House. I said, I really feel that Joe Biden should invite Elon Musk to the White House and say one good thing about Tesla. I think if he did that, I think Musk would stop being so political. And I think it would be super beneficial for Biden if Musk was not like constantly tweeting all this garbage about him and pro-Trump stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm. One thing this is a huge complaint that I have. There's two parts to this. One is people are way too black and white. I think that's just like a human thing in general. People are very black and white on things. And two, people absolutely cannot moderate their responses to anything. Like if you tell somebody that they said that they don't think minimum wage is the best policy, and somebody who said, I want to grind up and eat homeless people, the response to these is very similar online, to where if you say like, I don't like minimum wage, you're horrible, you're evil, you hate people, you're a fascist, you're blah, blah, blah. And like if you grind up the humans, maybe you'll get an extra report or two. But whenever somebody sees something bad about somebody, they go extremely crazy about it. And and it's a very black and white view of things. Yeah. And one of the most infuriating things to me is that I think there are genuinely really cool things that America has done and has accomplished. And I used to be able to at least rely on the neocons for this, for the Bushes and everybody to like celebrate some big American businesses. Obviously, the left historically will be a little bit more hostile towards them, but now everybody hates the big businesses. The two biggest examples I can think of this are, one, for Elon Musk, I severely dislike Elon Musk. I'm trying to say hate, okay? His political opinions are wild. And the in my opinion, the mismanagement of X, just because Twitter was such a great branding, drives me crazy. That platform drives me crazy. Just, God, he drives me crazy. But undeniably, SpaceX is awesome, okay? We had no real private rockets in the United States, like very little, if any, progress being made on the front. And now we have rockets that come back to Earth. That's super cool. And the electric cars, for as much as you want to say other people are working on them, he pushed that industry forward like 10 or 20 years. Nobody was seriously invested. So, but if you're on the left, you can't give Elon Musk credit for that because he's like an evil guy.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.